Hello everybody. Today I'm going to be showing you how to save playback from your camera surveillance using Guard Station software on your PC or Mac. Down below in the description, I'll have a link that you can follow to download the software if you haven't, and then we have a separate video that you can watch on how to get logged in, set up and all of that. That'll appear up in this corner. Go ahead and click that and it'll take you to that video. Once you've downloaded the software, go ahead and open it up. But you'll come to this screen, and the first thing you're going to want to do is come down to Client Configuration, and these are going to be settings for this software overall in general. For right now, we're going to come over to the audio and video, and we're going to come down to recording. Go ahead and make sure these are in the MP4 format. That'll make sure it's easy for our video player to play it. And then in these two spots, if you click Browse, go ahead and search for a spot in your computer that will be easy to find. That way the video that you save is right there and you don't have to search for it. So if you click Browse, just go ahead and find a spot in your PC. It'll be easy to find. For right now, I chose Desktop. So I went ahead and clicked Desktop, select Folder, and it'll put it in there. Once you have that completed, go ahead and click Apply, and then click OK. Alright, now we're going to want to come up to this Playback tab. It's got this green little video icon here. Go ahead and click that. Alright, over to your left, you are going to see the devices that you have shared to you. If you were to click this left box next to a device, it would then search Playback for all the cameras connected to that device you selected. Right now I don't want to do that. I'm just going to select one device. So if I click this little plus icon, it's going to bring up all the cameras connected to that device. So I'm going to go ahead and check out this guy here. And right now, there's multiple ways to search Playback. For right now, let's just say that I wasn't super sure when something happened. I just kind of know the day it was on, and we're just going to search normal Playback. Down here is the calendar where you can select the day you wish to see the video. Right now we're on the 1st of the month, but if I go back into July, it's a better example of this. All the dates that are highlighted with a color are the dates that you have video playback available for. So let's say I wanted to see July 29th. I would click July 29th and I would click search. And then as you can see, it searches all 24 hours of July 29th. Down here is our timeline, starting at midnight over here, cruising through the day all the way to just before midnight the next day. This timeline is color-coded. If you look over here, you'll see that blue is normal and red are events. Most of the time, the events are going to be motion recording, and the camera will have seen motion and it will show you here where it detected it. Now keep in mind, these are video cameras, they are not motion detectors, so their accuracy is not 100% by any means, but it is a good thing to kind of help us kind of track down when something might have happened in our video timeline. If you look over here, there's a bunch of different clips in this little right side menu. And what this is it's kind of like your timeline down here, except it's kind of all of these things split up into separate clips that you can watch, and it just kind of breaks it down into shorter little segments. So you can use either method to try to hunt down what you are looking for. If I go ahead and double click this, it'll full screen the video playback. And let's say I just want to go to 6:30. All right, so here we are at 6:30. This is what the camera was seeing. Again, see here it says it detected motion. We're gonna see if we catch any motion here quick. I'm gonna go ahead. Here's the speed of playback. So right now it's set at a singular speed. I'm gonna go ahead and boost this up to 2. And you'll see that the video playback has sped up a bit to twice what it was showing me before. Now keep in mind, if you're going to be watching a very high quality video over the internet, off a hard drive, when you try to speed this up remotely, it may kind of freeze up on you. It may be very jumpy. It just kind of all depends on your internet, your computer specs, the hard drive in the recorder, the internet at the recorder. There's a lot that goes into it. So I sped it up here, kind of looking. I'm going to even try 4 times speed. See, it speeds up again. So, alright, not really seeing anything that is of interest. So I'm going to go ahead and pause it. I'm going to go to right here. Oh, look, a vehicle has arrived. So if I back it up here a little bit to where this, it's just kind of hard to get, right back to the beginning of this red spot, looking at all 24 hours here. I'm going to make this more simple on me. I'm going to go over here, and these 2 little buttons will zoom in or out on the timeline. So right now our default is just going to show us all 24 hours of the day down here. But if I click this little button with the arrows facing outwards, it will actually zoom in the timeline. So now you can see here's 12 o'clock to 12:30, and we see it all in this little window here. So if I scoot this over by clicking this, and I go back to where we were, now I can get much more precise in clicking on events or time when I'm trying to find the event that took place. So if I click it here, it jumps to that next spot where I want it to go rather than everything before. And see, it said it sensed motion, and look, birds. Darn birds. They always get it. So this just kind of speeds up the process a bit and helps you along here. I'm going to move this back to normal speed. Just to kind of get you used to it, right here, it's showing me with this little green icon that this is the clip I'm currently watching. If I click this next one, you'll see this jumps forward, and it shows me that I'm watching a different time that was clipped out of this timeline. So let's say this is the clip that I actually wanted to save right here. Well, what am I going to do to save it? Alright, if I go to this little download button here, I can click download, and it will bring up this menu with all these clips over here that were separated. Now, if you didn't find it by finding the clips and you found it down here, and you didn't want to save, let's say, the event actually took place right here, and there's all this normal recording around, well, the clip is probably going to be this entire window of normal recording. Well, we don't really want to save all that. We would just want to save a little bit. In this window, you can go to Buy Time, and then here you can manually input the specific start time and end time of the clip that you want to save. For now, though, since I found this over here and I said this is the one I was going to want, I can look at the beginning time and the end time here. It's 8:52 to, oh, that's a longer clip. We're going to choose a shorter clip. We're going to go to like this one here. So 10:13 to 10:13, it's like 10 seconds. I can go here and I'll scroll down in these times to find that clip I wanted. Here's the 10:13 start time, 10:13 end time. I'll go ahead and select this checkbox off to the left here, and then I will click download. Down here it'll tell you that a task was created to let you know that it's going to start your download. And then over here in the bottom left, when you click this little icon here, it'll bring up the download job that it has going. Now this is saving recorded video through the software is good for shorter clips. 2-3 minutes, perfect size clips. They're small video files, it'll go quick. If you're going to start saving, 10 minutes to 20 minutes to, those larger size files, you're going to want to grab a flash drive and follow a similar process just at the recorder itself, and it'll be a whole lot faster and a whole lot easier on you in the long run. So over here, next to this download, we have these little buttons that'll do different things. If I click play, as you may have guessed, it's just going to play the clip that we had saved. If I click this little open folder here, it's going to open where it was saved at on our PC. So I saved mine to my desktop, and as you can see here, it saved that file to my desktop. So now I can share this with the authorities or with coworkers, anybody I need to share it with. I now have that file saved. Well, that's all well and good, and that was a pretty simple and quick process. Now let me show you a little bit of a trickier way that could save you possibly even more time. And that's going to be, if you come over here, we originally did it by normal recording playback. When I click this drop-down menu here, there's going to be a whole bunch of different options to try to search through playback. Even though there's a bunch of different ones here, they're kind of all going to follow the same idea. It's going to go through all the recordings that it saved, and these rules or events that are set up in the camera save themselves as their own sort of special instance. And so then it saves those as a special instance. So when you search, you can just search by what would have happened with those special rules that we had set up. Nobody's going to have all of them, would be my guess. Depending on what cameras you have, the system, the whole setup, you may have some of these, you may have none of these. It just kind of depends. Nothing's going to hurt by you searching to see if you have one currently set up. If you don't have it set up, it just simply won't bring up any recordings over here. So for this back camera, just for instance, I have intrusion detection set up. And what that means is in the rules, I have drawn a box that goes through the back here, around, and then around the side here, so that when any object or person passes into that box, it counts that as an intrusion, and it will save that video separately. So I'm going to go ahead and select intrusion detection for playback, and then I'm going to select the camera I would like. So I would like this camera. And then down here, it looks just a tad bit different, but it's the same idea. You can either manually input the time window that you're looking for. You can leave it as this, which will be a full 24-hour search. And then for the date, you can either manually enter it over here, or you can click this calendar icon, and it'll bring up this calendar here, and you can search through dates. Now, unfortunately for this tab, it doesn't really highlight the dates that are available. I'm not quite sure why, to tell you the truth. But if you click on normal playback and look in, you can see how far back you can go. So for my instance, I know I can go back to the 20th. So I'm going to go ahead and click July 29th. And then I can adjust the time here. For right now, I'm going to leave it just at 0, which is midnight. And then down here, holy cow, I need to change that date or it's going to search for a lot of video. So I'm going to click that, go to July 29th, and then I'm going to leave it at this time, which would just be 11:59, right before midnight on the 30th. Click OK. And then I'm going to go ahead and search this. And you'll see over here, these are the instances of intrusion detection that the camera recorded. So as you can see, instead of seeing, scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, there's all that video, 24 hours worth of video. Out of that day, for the times I have it set up to alert and to save separately, I just have these clips here. And it just shortens my time up a lot to try to search through video and try to see when something may have happened. Now, just like motion, these are a bit more accurate than the motion detection. You can adjust settings and kind of play with where they're set up to try to avoid false pickups. Of course, with technology, nothing's 100% perfect. It's going to pick up some, a bird, a shadow that crosses over, things like that. But for the most part, it will be much more accurate than motion, and it will make your process so much easier. So for instance, this said, all right, at 3:49, we had an intrusion detection. So as you can see here, there were a bunch of lovely night critters, bugs, flying around this light that we have back here. And because all of these bugs are flying through this area, it believes that something is intruding in that box I drew. Obviously, we know that just the bugs set it off this time. So 10 minutes later. So if I click this, so going through these, you can see I actually think I was incorrect about the bugs. I think I may have been correct at that point, but I forgot that it did storm very bad that evening. And so I think that might be little droplets of rain and hail, which is kind of interesting. But as you can see, all right, out of all the time specified, this was the only time it picked up intrusion. Just to make it a little more interesting, we'll go ahead and try Friday, just to see if we get a fun one. Oh, whoops, forgot to select my camera. Okay, so on Friday, out of all 24 hours, there are only 3 events recorded. So if I were to click an event here, here we go. Here's a good one. So a police squad car drove through our box back here, and so it counted as an intrusion, and therefore it saved that clip separately from the other clips. So let's say, oh, all right, awesome. That's all I needed to find was actually just that cop car rolling through there. I can go down here to download. I'll look here. I'll say, all right, the clip I was watching says 251 to 252. This middle clip here, 251, 252. Click that. Click download. Task is created. I go over here to this icon again. And look, it's going to download that video clip. So this, like I said, just speeds up the process a whole bunch. You don't have to search quite as much. In another video down the road, I'll be going over these rules as alarms. These can be set up so just like it saves it into individual clips, into instances of events, it can also notify you when it records an event live. So you can kind of get a live notification of when an event is recorded. I'm still playing around a bit with settings, all of the different options to kind of test out what is most accurate, because just like the other alarms, motion can be set up to be an alarm, but like I mentioned earlier in the video, the motion is not 100% accurate by any means. And so if I had that set up for notifications, I'd be getting notifications all day long. And that's not what we want it for, because then we'll start ignoring the notifications, and that's not what we want to do. So once I get that all tailored up, I'll make a further video on that and explain that. So stick around, subscribe, turn notifications on so you know when we update with a new video. They're coming faster and faster. I'm getting better at it, and I'm happy I can help you guys and kind of teach you all the cool, neat stuff you can do with these cameras. It really is something else. So thank you guys very much, and have a wonderful morning or afternoon.